I think it's scheme. Obviously, I think it is just not being aggressive enough defensively, right? They're just in reactionary positions. And that's the one thing that I noticed too, pretty much all season long. Like there have been, when you watch when you watch the film on the Chargers, right? And it's something that I kind of noticed a couple of weeks back, but it was very very clear in the Raider game, right? When you look at the Charger defense, when you look at the Charger defense, how they were lining up against the Raiders offense, they were lining up the way that the alignments, the coverages, all of that stuff. It said respect, right? That's what it said to me. It said respect. The way that the Raiders defense lined up against us had no respect. There are so many people around the box. The safeties are looking in the backfield. The cornerbacks are looking in the backfield. They have no respect for the Chargers offense at all. They have no respect for any of the explosive plays that could happen. They have absolutely no respect for it. And rightfully so, because the Chargers don't make that happen. They don't make it happen. The explosive plays are not there. The Chargers try to nickel and dime you to death, and obviously it doesn't work. It hasn't worked to the level of, us winning more games, right? So they don't respect us. A lot of teams' defenses don't respect us. Now, Miami, they don't have a great defense, but what they do have on defense is speed. They have speed from the defensive end position all the way back to the safety position. Javon Holland, he's one of the best safeties in the league. He's underrated, but Miami's defense has speed, so I expect them to play extremely aggressive against the Chargers. I expect them to come up really, really, really come up and try to disrupt everything from the line of scrimmage, you know, down. Right? They're not going to be in cover four. They're not going to be in cover two. They don't need to, because they're not going to get beat that way. And the Chargers don't do it. They don't have guys who are going to beat you off the line of scrimmage and really take the top off. Right? Even if you get beat off the line of scrimmage by Keenan Allen, Josh Palmer, those guys don't have blazing speed. You're not out of the play yet. So that's the one thing that I noticed. And it's very clear, like the past 3 or 4 weeks, a lot of teams don't respect what the Chargers do. A bunch of teams don't. So it's going to be very interesting to see how Miami plays this, because if they get a lead at any point in the game, they're going to come out and they are going to, I think they're going to blitz a lot, just like the Raiders did last week. I think they're going to be one-on-one. I don't think that they're afraid of Keenan Allen. I don't think they're afraid of Josh Palmer. For everything that those guys can do, they know that they're not going to do enough to beat them, right? Keenan Allen is not going to have 17 catches for 250 yards, right? It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. So if they get beat deep once or twice or whatever, they know the game is not over, right? Especially with the offense that they have. I think their defense is going to be super aggressive. I think they're going to roll the dice. I think they're going to be blitzing. I think they're going to bring the house a bunch of times, because the Chargers really can't block it up. They know that. They've seen it on tape last week. And then also, you're not afraid of anybody that the Chargers have. Like you're just not afraid, right? Michael Bandy plays a bunch of snaps, right? Who's afraid of him? Who is afraid of him? Nobody's afraid of him, right? Keenan Allen is one of the best route runners in the league, but Keenan Allen's strength is sitting down in zones, right? Finding zones, sitting down in them, and being able to catch the ball at that point, right? Josh Palmer is kind of the same thing. None of these guys are really going to take the top off a defense when they're in man-to-man. None of these guys can really do that. The only guy on the roster who can really do that is Mike Williams, right? If you try to play him man-to-man, and if you're soft and you're not aggressive enough with him, he can catch a ball over you, and if you miss a tackle, he's gone, right? He's a guy that can take the top off of a defense just by how big he is and how physical he is as a receiver. Nobody else on the roster can do that as far as the receivers go. So it's going to be interesting to see how the defense plays, right? How the Dolphins defense plays, because I think that they will get very, very aggressive, and I think they're going to look at it from a standpoint of, oh, we're playing with house money, right? We're playing with house money. If you hit one of these big passes down the field, whatever, okay, cool. But you're not going to consistently do that. Teams know the Chargers are not going to consistently do that. So it's advantageous for them to come up and just play in the box, right? There are going to be a lot of short outs. There's going to be a lot of stick stuff. It's advantageous for them to play in the box. That's what the Raiders did, and it was pretty good. The Raiders' plan was pretty good, to be aggressive. They didn't get beat, really. Only time they got beat was on that Keenan Allen touchdown, and that throw by Herbert was perfect, right? That's the only way that you're going to get beat, is if Herbert has a perfect throw, right? Which he does it all the time. But if to me, if I'm a defensive coordinator and I say everything we've done this right, right? We called the right plays, we bought the right blitz package, we got home. All the quarterback has to do in order to complete this, right, is to make a perfect throw, literally a perfect throw. Like if it's off by a couple of inches, then it's no good, right? If I will take my chances every time as a defensive coordinator. If I know I'm in the right coverage, I'm in the right alignment, I bring the right blitz package, everything is right on that play. It's just the quarterback made a perfect throw, right? Literally like a handoff, right? Just handed it off to him. If you can do that, if Herbert can do that, then I would take my chances as a defensive coordinator. And you just got to go and shake his hand after the game, be like, "Yo, you're a bad motherfucker." Like that. That's all you can say. But unless Herbert is doing that every single time, you keep bringing it. You keep bringing it. You keep bringing the blitzes. You keep throwing the offensive line off. Right? Is Corey Linsley going to play? He was still in concussion protocol last time I checked. So we don't know. We don't know. There's going to be a lot that goes into it when it comes to defensively, right? What the Dolphins do and how they're going to be able to stifle the Chargers. And I think they are going to be able to stifle the Chargers because, as you can see, the past couple of weeks, it has not been great defenses that have been able to shut the Chargers down, right? It's just been advantageous schemes, right? Or bringing a blitz at the right time. The Raiders are not a good defense, right? The Chargers offense made that defense look very good because they were playing with house money. They knew they were not going to get beat over the top consistently. And that worked out. So if you know a team is not going to beat you over the top consistently, why wouldn't I bring blitz? Why wouldn't I go one-on-one, right? Why wouldn't I be aggressive as hell all game long if I know you're not going to beat me over the top? I know you're not going to beat me. So what I'm going to come and do, I'm going to hit your quarterback. I'm going to hit him a bunch. We're going to get in the backfield, right? We're going to try to cause some turnovers, right? We're going to try to cause maybe some tip balls, maybe some interceptions, whatever. Even if we don't get those, we're still going to be aggressive, right? Your defense, your offense is not going to be able to move the ball the way that you want to, right? All of the little open windows, the little open lanes are not going to be there. We're moving your quarterback off of his spot, and we're going to cause havoc. And I think that's what the Dolphins defense is going to do. They don't have to be great. And I've seen a lot of people like, oh, the defense isn't great. It might be a shootout. I don't know. They don't have to be great to stop the Chargers. That's one of the things that people have to understand. Your defense doesn't have to be great to stop the Chargers.